we are here with our other players. As we are now loaded into Blackburn, not LE, but ESL. And we are looking at the base of the Blue Protoss, representing the team SSLT, also known as the Starved Camels. It is Firefly.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Blackburn ESL, we have the Chinese Terran player himself representing Invictus Gaming. It is XY.
Can I just point out that the team is Starved Camels, but the camel is eating?
Yeah, but it's eating cactus. There's nothing in the cactus.
Fair. Okay.
That's the thing. It's starving so much that it's willing to eat cactus, Kuro.
Yeah, I guess that's painful. To be fair, what do camels eat actually?
I have no idea. When I think of a camel eating, I just think of it like drinking water, like drinking like a mountain of water, you know?
But what do they eat?
I don't know.
Maybe they do eat cactus.
Maybe they do eat cactus. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. That would make sense. It's like the only plant in the desert, right? Kind of.
I mean, there are some trees, question mark? Like palm, maybe?
Yeah, for the people who are wondering, what the hell is SSLT? Why is there a camel? Well, this is a new team that was formed this year, I believe, by a bunch of older Chinese players. I say older players, retired players. They all kind of came back, they formed a clan, they formed a team together, and then suddenly the captain of their team got signed by Dragon Phoenix Gaming.
Yeah, it's like they formed a team like, hey, we're all these retired players, and then it was like, wait, they're actually good.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny how that worked out. I'm pretty sure they formed the team just so they can play in team leagues together. So yeah, they were able to do that at least. But here we are in our first game, and Kuro, we're in a pretty interesting map, all things considered.
Yeah, like we're definitely interesting, but build-wise, I don't think we have anything too crazy going on, though that Zealot is a little bit... Are you sure you want to be here?
Yeah, it looks like Firefly was trying to be cheeky. He did go for a Zealot first. Obviously, the point of this Zealot is to go across the map and delay this CC. He was probably hoping that we didn't see a Reaper first here, that it was a Marine first or something like that instead. And you know what? The Zealot is still alive, and Firefly is headed towards this CC.
Yeah, the other was there just in time to save the Zealot. The CC will complete though, so no delay there, but still maybe some damage.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the Zealot's trying to do what he can, but the kiting is too good. The Zealot goes down, and now there's only a single Adept. Nice sniper there. Nice control, pulling back the weekend. Oh, no! The Marine goes down in the end, and now a Stalker's about to rock up. Things are getting a little bit out of control.
Yeah, the Doubted was so close to dying, but did manage to take down 2 units. Now the Stalker is alone, but still takes another Marine, so... I would say it's an even trade, question mark?
Yeah, like, Firefly wanted to snowball. This is something that you can do as a Protoss player on Blackburn specifically because it doesn't take too long to waddle across the map and hit your opponent's natural base. So Firefly wanted to snowball, wanted to kill some workers. Unfortunately, didn't quite work out, and a really solid defense by XY.
Yeah, it's good that he did make all of these Marines, that he didn't like try to skip them and just go straight into like another tech. Like he did make some defenses, and it worked out for him pretty well, as he's now getting a Cyclone, getting more access, and just able to ramp up his economy.
Yeah, that's the one downside of how this game played out, is that if you look at XY's vision, he has seen nothing. He has no idea what the opener is, so he has to play safe. He has to make that Cyclone, keep it at home, because for all he knows, an Oracle is about to rock up in his main base, like, and he would be so unprepared. So because of this, like, he has to try and play as safe as possible. Even moved out with his Marines just in case the unit was coming across the map. But yeah, XY is just kind of playing blind right now.
Yes, I'm actually surprised that he's not like sending like even a Marine to see what's going on, but I guess he's gonna wait. He's just gonna wait for what Firefly will show him.
Yeah, because of that, I really like the way that Firefly is playing. He knows that he killed the Reaper, so without the Reaper, it's kind of really difficult to scout, and he's just being incredibly greedy. Like, we see, he's expanding off of 2 gates, by the way. Like, off of 2 gates, he just takes a 3rd base, you know, he doesn't really have anything else. If everything here went to hit this 3rd, Firefly probably would have lost it, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
We'll see with all these Wing Stalkers, but regardless, he was playing very greedy, and he's getting away with it.
I mean, the Blink Stalkers are nice and all, but they can't be in every base at the same time, so I feel like the base would end up being quite exposed. But actually, Firefly decides to move out with the Stalkers.
Yeah, I mean, Firefly knows he's relatively safe here. He's going to be able to contain his opponent, keep an eye on whether a third base comes out or whether XY decides to move out himself. And, yeah, XY is just confined to his 2 bases. Ooh, the Stalkers even... Oh my god, in range of the SCV!
Ooh, actually denying that third command center, very nice. And they destroyed the wall as well.
That actually does supply block XY. Oh god, so he's gonna have to rebuild a couple of depots here. What's important is that Firefly just scattered a third CC, and this is very unusual. Like, a Terran player usually stays on 2 bases a little bit longer, and they're usually a little bit more aggressive. We can see that XY is trying to be greedy, trying to get a base up and running, and now Firefly just knows how safe he is.
Yeah, I mean, he is safe, but this is still not a small Terran army, so he has to be careful how he maneuvers with the Stalkers. But it doesn't look like a huge attack is coming his way.
Yeah, we have a single drop headed towards the main base, but the Stalkers, they're going back home as well, so there will be something to help defend. Meanwhile, finally, we have our Gateway Explosion. Blink is done. Charge is done. 4th base on the way. XY is still on 2 bases, by the way.
Yeah, and Firefly just goes to the gold. I mean, why not? Might as well.
XY scans, sees everything in the main base, is going to be able to unload here in the fog of war, so he's going to be able to dip on in and potentially deal a lot of damage. There's no shield battery, there's no cannon, there's nothing here.
Yeah, there's nothing here. The probes are trying to go away, but the choke point is actually stopping them. Now that the Stalkers are recalled, they will clean this up. But this was looking very dangerous. Ooh, more probes falling down.
Yeah, the target fire is insane. This one drop full of Marines gets 11 probe kills and a couple of Stalkers at the same time. War Prism gets into the main base, so it looks like Firefly wants to reciprocate that damage, but the Bio army is here and nowhere near as many SCVs are going to go down.
Yeah, the Bio army will stop the Zealots, although the SCVs are coming back now, but it doesn't look like more will fall down. Even this 4 base is getting attacked now.
Ooh, yeah, but again, only a single drop, not too much DPS. The Zealots go from the main base to the natural. A couple more SCVs go down, so Firefly doing a great job at equalizing here. In the end, he lost 11 probes, but he's already killed 11. Oh my god, even more SCVs?
Yeah, and actually the Warp is not targeted, so it's allowed to warp even more Zealots, and more damage will be done.
Exactly. XY, he could have targeted the War Prism with his Cyclone, but alas, it was not there. The Zealots couldn't even get a tank. No, don't quite go for it, but regardless, Firefly has done an incredible job doing all this counter damage.
Did you notice that? Because oh the Cyclone.
I don't
Oh, the Warp is. Okay, it broke the lock-on. But yeah, if you notice, because the tank was firing on the Zealots, actually the fire went on the War Prism, because the fire stays there for a moment. It was a funny visual glitch.
Meanwhile, we do see Firefly is getting away with his base. There is a drop here to try and focus on probes, so I mean, XY does have something to stop him, but Firefly, oh god, with all these bases, with all this economy, is going to try and hit this base. There are 2 tanks on the low ground though, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to break, and oh, the drop comes in.
Yeah, drop comes in, 4 more probes fall down. Most of them were evacuated though, so it looks like Firefly will hold that base quite safely, as he's just warping in more here.
Yeah, and can he break this position is the real question. We do have plenty of charge outs with 2 Immortals, 100%. The tanks are completely abandoned here. XY knows he can't defend. He evacuates immediately, does lose 2 tanks in the retreat, and now only has 1 left in his natural.
Yeah, that's a nice position for a tank in that natural though, so it will hold the line for a little bit. But that just gives Firefly to get even more army, to be honest.
Yeah, again, Firefly was able to clean up the drop as well, so now he can actually mine from 4 bases. XY still only contained to 2 bases, by the way. He does have a 3rd CC, so the mules will help. But again, he's going to mine out from his 2 bases that much faster. Like, he needs to expand. I'm so surprised that he took the triangular 3rd, by the way, like the more aggressive exposed one.
The War Priest is back! And the whole army is in the natural now.
Yeah, the Prism is back. Not going to be able to do too much here. I mean, XY, oh my god, with the lock-on, does take down the War Prism. So now, finally, XY can breathe easy. Maybe he can expand, but he needs to do more than just expand.
Yeah. Finally, that War Priest got taken down. It actually, I feel like it would be saved if it didn't, like, you know, come back for a second. But unfortunately, it was taken down as XY decides to move out of his drop, but oh, he actually scouts all these zealots here.
Yeah, I guess a lucky scout there for XY. He's well aware of a massive zealot run by. Meanwhile, triple drop going into the main base. Firefly once again doesn't have anything here. Does have a recall available though. So as long as he has enough energy, he should be able to pull it off.
I mean, to be fair, Firefly transferred the workers from here, so actually there's not a lot of probes in this base, but it's still damage being done to his economy, as XY intercepts the Zealot army.
Yeah, and we actually don't see a recall. The army does come over from that third base. He's going to be able to try and clean this up, but oh, having a really hard time. The awkward SimCity really working against Firefly there.
Yeah, indeed. And as I said before, now XY just goes to another base, and this whole army has to like snake around the buildings to get to the other bases.
Yeah, and honestly, like, this is again what XY needs to do to stay in this game. Like, despite having all these bases, Firefly has been neglecting his probe production. You can see his probe count isn't very high at all. It's actually pretty low, surprisingly low.
Yeah, he's been transferring probes, but not really making new ones, I feel like. And he's losing even more of them, as once again there are 2 drops from different sides.
Yeah, exactly. The gold base is not being mined from at all. There's nothing here in position to defend. We do have enough energy for a recall, but Firefly is not going for it again. He's too preoccupied with the triple drop.
Yeah, it looks like even the Nexus will go down.
Yeah, the Nexus will go down. XY fighting back. There was a time here, Kuro, where he was down and had half the base count. It was it was disgusting. But now he's getting fully saturated on 3 bases. He's got Ghosts, he's got EMPs. Quickly checking the upgrades. We already have enhanced shockwaves as well.
Look, he just knew that he has to survive, and that's what he did. And now he's finding all these small mistakes that Firefly did on the way, and he's capitalizing on them.
Yeah, definitely. But what we should say is that Firefly hasn't been neglecting his own tech. He does have a robotics bay. He's working on disruptors. Disruptors are a really awkward unit to use in this army though, because obviously they shoot into melee range and zealots charge into melee range as well. So Firefly has to be careful here with how he controls this. Wants to make sure he doesn't have any kind of like friendly fire.
We have 2 disruptors and 2 war priests and war priest speed.
We do. We'll see if it's going to come into play. Meanwhile, oh, he does run into a minefield. A couple of Widowmine shots will go off. Oh, decent disruptor shot, though. He's going to help clean them up. He doesn't have detection.
Yeah, but he sees the Widow Mines, which the disruptors will work out nicely cleaning up these Widow Mines, but that means the shots will not be there for the main fight with the army.
Yeah, and once again, there's nothing at home to defend. We do have a slow warp in, but a slow warp in is not going to be fast enough. The 5th boss. Oh my god, that's a kill, not a cancel.
Oh, it's actually a kill. Wow.
Oh my god. Meanwhile, we have some nice EMPs on these charges. At the same time, the main army is moving in again. This is so terrifying, though. We still have 2 disruptors.
Yeah, and the Zealot army was just a distraction to pull XY's army up in the other direction. Oh, look, there's CVs. They just barely did it.
Yeah, and because that made the disruptors were used on workers and not on the main army, so XY, he's fighting back. The SCVs have all survived, but the 3rd base will go down.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, XY was already working on another command center, so at least he will have that, as this drop is actually doing damage.
Oh yeah, mate, he killed the top right-hand base. Now he goes here, he's going to deny a lot of mining time. The Zealots are having a hard time trying to path their way to this drop. XY is pushing out across the map. Ooh, catches an Immortal.
Yeah, the Robo army was actually left undefended because Firefly was busy defending his home.
The Prisms! No!
It's so low.
Oh,
it's gonna survive.
It's gonna barely survive. At the same time, a drop into the natural base. It is gonna get cleaned up, but XY is pushing himself forward. Looking at the units tab, we have no more disruptors. We have a single Immortal, and I don't know if that's gonna be enough, Kuro.
I feel like it's just enough to defend from this army, but when the next wave comes, it may be rough.
Yeah, exactly. There aren't any Zealots. No buffer. The Immortal's going to go down immediately. We are out of energy on these shield batteries. We do have an overcharge available in a couple of seconds. Oh, XY forced to back off.
Yeah, as I said, he has to wait for the reinforcements, but I feel like once he gets like another wave going, XY may actually have the units to overpower this. But at the same time, these 2 warpies, they want to go into the main base, but I don't know if they can. Yeah,
Firefly is going for a drop into the main base of XY. Same can be said for XY going into the main base of Firefly. Another massive Doom drop. Firefly going to have to try and go up this ramp. And oh, he made double observers. He still doesn't have any splash damage, Kuro.
Doesn't he also once again has to go around the base for the units to get there, so it takes a long time, and 13 probes once again go down.
Yeah, and you know what? XY can fight this army. Stalkers are not good enough. They're all going to go down at the same time. In the main base, we have DTs, which are okay, but we have plenty of scan energy. There's only 2 DTs left. One of the War Prisoners went down. There's only one left. There's only one left.
Yeah, and it's the low one. It's the one that's very low, so it's gonna get easily sniped once there are some anti-air units.
It goes down. We do have 2 DTs, and DT's going to be doing a lot of damage, but the scan goes down. DT's full as well, and Firefly has nothing left.
I mean, look at the workers. Just look at the workers.
I mean, this is the army.
Look at the supply.
This is the army.
Look at the supply.
We have 4 Stalkers, 2 shield batteries, and a Dream. And Dream is not in China, he's in Korea. It's not... it's not gonna
I'm
work
sure
out.
there was a Dream in China somewhere. There were like 4 different Dreams or something.
Yeah, sure. We have Dreamer Toss, who's in Taiwan. That's close enough. We have
it's a toss though.
Yeah, we have a little bit of DT harass here, but again, we have scan energy, and you know what? XY is going to be banking up and saving that energy for scans, not on mules, because he's well aware of the threat of these DTs. Firefly on some serious copium right now, because again, there's just not much here. He can't even mine from his main.
Yeah, the vibes are just there.
Oh my
He's
god.
trying to see what he can get done with these targets, but there's only 4 of them and another one falls down.
There's 3 Stalkers. GG gets called, and XY takes game number 1.
Wow. Wow. GG. GG. See, we were worried about XY on the beginning because like the beginning looked a bit rough for him, but like once he got to proper mid game, he was like, yeah, nah.
I mean,
Yeah, nah.
the mid game was rough for him. Let's be clear about that. Firefly was looking really good, but again, he just wasn't making probes, and he was slowly losing them and just not rebuilding them, and eventually that kind of caught up with him, and suddenly he was broke.
Yeah, like I feel like Firefly, like on the beginning, he cut a lot of corners, and then like, you know, he was like, okay, so now I'm gonna attack XY, and like I'm gonna get the game, right? And then XY just didn't lose.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Yeah, maybe it was overconfidence from Firefly. Like, again, he had a lot of bases up and running really quickly. Like, he was able to really explode with his production. Like, everything was looking really good for him. Just like his drop defense, you know, his probing, like, and shout out to XY for, again, just being so resilient. Despite things looking so dire for him, he didn't give up. You know, he fought till the bitter end, and he brought it back, and he came out on top.
Yeah. This was very nicely played from XY, because as we said, like when Firefly was attacking, like he just barely had enough to defend. Like he just, you know, he just stacked everything in his natural. I was like, okay, this is my stand. We're not gonna go farther than that. and then he just had.
Yeah. Again, very impressive there by XY. You know, there's a reason why he's such a veteran of the scene. There's a reason why, like, you know, everyone looks to him, and he's got so much experience, and that, you know, he shows everyone that he's still got it. You know, he may be one of the older players, arguably the oldest, like, active pro gamer, but he's still so damn good.
Look, that camel team. He should be in that camel team, clearly.
Clearly. For those wondering, XY is 34 years old. 34. One of, if not the oldest active pro gamer, and like, man, he's still damn good. He still takes games off of time, you know. He's still a beast, a monster. Firefly, I think Firefly is like 19. Like,
why is he retired? What the? Hold on, I'm actually checking this.
Yeah,
How old is
he was born in the year 2000. Firefly was born in the year 2000.
21.
Yeah. I remember when he was 18. Oh god.
Why is he on the retired team then?
Shaking my head, Firefly, shaking my head. But yeah, you know, it's the old guard against the new guard, you know, the older generation against the newer one. And again, you saw how upbeat Firefly was all over the place, taking all these risks. But sometimes you gotta calm down, take a step back, breathe, you know. And you know, like, taking the big picture, you know.
Yeah, I feel like that's like, as we said, like what I feel like what let Firefly down was that he like cut a bit too many corners. And like, you know, it just over the course of the game it caught up to him. Like I feel like, yeah, the biggest thing was the probe count, where like he has 4 bases, he has all these like resources, and then it's like, wait a minute, he has the bases, but where is the mining? Like it felt like he just stopped at certain number of probes and they just like never made anymore, and like as he was losing more of them he was just transferring to the other bases, but like he wasn't remaking them.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully Firefly can recover for game number 2 and recognize his strengths and recognize his weaknesses and adapt on the fly. I feel like we're looking a little bit more at Firefly to do that than XY. XY was pretty solid. You could argue maybe a little bit too safe early on, but I mean, it worked out for him anyway, so I don't know.
I mean, he had to, right? Because if you remember, like the whole game started with that Zealot and Adept taking down the Reaper, so like he couldn't scout early on, so he couldn't get any information. So he kind of, you know, was like, okay, so I know nothing, so I just have to be prepared for anything.
Oh yeah, and he kind of was, kind of.
Kind of.
Oh god, so we'll see how that goes. Meanwhile, yo, shout out to Mio Micah in the chat. Hello, puppy Mio. Hello. Enjoying the festivities, enjoying the games, while he rests up and prepares for Valencia.
Hold on, what's been happening in the chat? Free crew, please. What? Oh yeah, because I'm casting. Sure.
Yes. For those wondering, Micah Cat in the chat is Mio Micah. He is the DreamHack Valencia Oceania champion. He last week he just won the entire region, you know, taking down the best in Australia, the best in Malaysia, the best in Pakistan. So massive shout out to Mio Micah, massive shout out. He's a great player, and you know, he's just here, just checking out the competition. You know, who else is gonna make it to Valencia?
Yes. What if Micah Cat is not actually Mio Micah, but his cat?
True, could be his cat.
Could be his cat typing, you never know. Cats are known to walk on keyboards, so...
There you go. As it seems as if our players wanted a little bit of a break, but they are now back. We have our lobby, we are getting ready to dive in. Kuro, can you please join our lobby? I'd appreciate that.
Like, imagine if players were posting lobby links in the
I posted a lobby link.
I mean, you did. I'm just saying that, like, I am in the chat channel. Nobody is posting anything.
Okay. All right. We are now ready for game number 2, and I just love that also, like, the veto process that we had here for our first series, or our only series, I should say. Game 1 was on Blackburn, which again isn't the most usual map. It's very unorthodox. Likewise, game 2, we're heading into Curious Minds.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've not seen Curious Minds played a lot lately.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there's a lot of downsides to the map. There's a reason for that. You know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
Yeah, short rush distance, open third base. We have the cliff over the third as well that can be abused. It can be a really awkward map, but also a really great map if you come in prepared.
And I bet these players are prepared. Yes. I wonder what they're gonna do. Is it gonna be another, like, you know, fairly regular game? I would say, like, this game wasn't like, oh, crazy weird builds. Like, the builds were very regular. It was more like what the game played out like. But we're about to see, as we are now here. As I realized that they switched colors. Oh well. We are now here on Curious Minds, not LE but ESL, and we are now looking at the base of the red Protoss, representing SSLT. It is Firefly.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Curious Minds ESL, we have the Chinese Terran player himself representing Invictus Gaming, Team IG. It is XY.
I don't know about you, but I'm vibing to the music.
I wish we could have like Brood War music in game, like it's, or like.
I wish we could I wish we could have like synchronized music so we would hear the same thing.
Yeah, that'd be nice as well. That'd be nice as well.
Like as an option, obviously.
No, good. Regardless, we have some nice music going on anyway. Nice music as the probe is out here tasing away at the SCV. Oh, no, one of us almost gets the SCV.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't get the SCV, but he did make like 2 additional SCVs come there to defend it. So, I would say it's still like something. It's still like those 2 SCVs that weren't doing anything else.
Yeah, that does force some lost mining time. A lot of damage already on 2 SCVs in total. We saw Firefly rotate around, get some shields, and is going to be as annoying as possible. XY, ooh, his natural base was delayed a little bit there.
Yeah, and actually this game, XY does skip the Reaper entirely and goes for a Marine first.
Ooh, interesting. Marine first straight into a reactor. We'll keep an eye on this here. This wouldn't be a bad map for a 3 racks, but oh no, there we go. It is a factory follow-up, not another racks.
Okay. So I guess maybe just, that's a variation of 1-1-1, I guess.
Yeah, I mean...
No, I was gonna say that Firefly didn't go for the Zealot either, because, I mean, I feel like it's a little bit more far away for the Zealot to run there.
Yeah, it is. So it makes sense for him to go Zealot first on Blackburn and not on Curious Minds. So again, both players just adapting a little bit to the overall map here. Meanwhile, XY in skipping his Reaper means that he has a little bit of extra gas to go into a faster factory, to go into his tech a little bit faster as well. But he does give up on scouting information. Just like the previous game, if we look at his vision, he didn't go even for an SCV scout early on. He has no idea what his opponent's doing. But based off of the previous game, like, he doesn't really care.
I mean, like, he held it like in very solid way in the first game, so I guess he's not too worried about that. Now that Adept is getting in, but the wall is there, so I don't think he will be able to see much.
That was a pretty good scout. He commits to the shade. Obviously, when you commit to the shade, your range, your vision gets larger, so he takes that risk, and the Adept even survives, gets away, and the Adept was able to see the factory.
I was gonna say, did he catch the factory? I guess he did then. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much it tells him that the factory is there, but see, even if he doesn't expect a Widowmine drop, like, this Adept may just accidentally scout it.
Well, I mean, the Adept did, because he saw the factory, because he saw the add-ons as well, he should be aware that Widowmines are coming out. He should be aware that a drop should be imminent here from XY. He should have been able to piece it all together. Also confirming and ruling out that it's not going to be a 3 racks or anything like that. So, yeah, great scouting. XY not punishing that Adept earlier by killing it and being in position. So, yeah, not bad.
Ooh, the Stalker! They're so close! The Blink is almost done!
Blink is almost done. The Stalker is on the way. Here come the rest of the Stalkers as well. Just like that, this drop is being denied. Again, Firefly, with all that scouting information, was able to just shut this down. Oh my god! Whoa. That's so close, and now the Stalkers are out of position, and the Marines, they just waddle on in.
Yeah, the Stalkers were distracted by the drop and like trying to catch it, and Marines can just walk straight in.
Yeah.
And the drop survives too.
The drop manages to escape. The rest of the Stalkers had to come in here into the main base. You have to respect all of these Marines, and they come in and they get a little bit of probe damage. What's important though is that at least they were able to keep that drop alive.
Yeah, that's very nice for XY. He does lose these Marines, but no, it's not the worst thing that can happen to a Terran.
Yeah, I mean, Marines are expendable. You know, it's sad, but it's true. Marines, you know, they aren't the most useful unit at times. They're a great buffer and they have a lot of DPS, but they are also expendable. Meanwhile, the drop is now moving out across the map. Despite the fact that Firefly was so ready for it earlier, now it's, you know, it could go unscattered and it could deal some damage.
Yeah, looks like it is going around, but at the same time, the Stalkers are now here in the natural. But there is a tank though, so they will have to move back, and the drop is now about to get to the main base soon.
Yeah, Firefly taking a massive tank shot to the face. Hasn't been able to see the third CC yet. That is currently hidden here in the main base of XY. And yeah, we'll see if anything's in position here. Unfortunately, we will have a shield battery, but that won't really help here against these 3 Widowmines.
It may actually be problem with that shield battery because it can like path block the probes from escaping.
Yeah, I don't know if I like this. XY is trying to be a little bit fancy. He's gonna try and waddle in with one with one Widowmine and then come in with the other two. Whereas a straight up Widowmine drop could have been a little bit better here as he tries to get in.
Yeah, and it would hit early.
No reaction!
Too, I feel like.
Oh! Oh!
No reaction at all. 11.
At the same time,
Where's
we have a little bit of
Widowmine?
auto tower harass here at the third base. The second Widowmine got taken out here by the sentries. We did see a force field as well to lock it out, but 11 probe kills, not bad.
Yeah, it's still pretty good, I would say. And the Raven got some more damage as well. I don't know if he killed any probes, but at the very least he pulled the attention of Firefly somewhere else.
Yeah,
So not bad, not bad.
Meanwhile, Blink, I believe, is done here. Same can be said for Charge. So Firefly is going for a mass swarm toss style. Mass gateways, prioritizing all of his economy as well on these minerals, not so much on the gas. And it's a really great way to catch your opponent. It lacks splash damage, but what you lack in splash damage, you make up for in Zealots.
I was gonna say though, there is no warp-is though, or a warp-in location, so the reinforcements of Firefly will take a while to get to this side of the map.
Yeah, at the moment, he's not looking to be too aggressive. He's just keeping an eye on the third base. Does confirm that it's on the way. Going to try and slow it down. If at any moment the Raven becomes a little bit vulnerable, it will dive on it. Oh, the
Oh, like there.
Be careful, XY. Be careful.
Yeah, he tried to attack with his whole army and the Raven just went in, but he did notice it in time, so did not lose it.
Meanwhile, here comes the rest of the army. War Prism is on the way as well. Again, Charge, Lots, and Blink Stalkers are the name of the game for Firefly. He's not completely neglecting his splash damage. We do see a Robotics Bay on the way in the main base, but it's still not done yet. It's going to be a while before we see Colossus or Disruptors.
Yeah, actually has to very... Is he really making that the Ghost Academy there?
He blinks on forward, and just like that, every single tank is going to go down. 3 tanks for a handful of gateway units, well worth it.
Yeah, that's the... I just got so thrown off. I'm like, okay, XY is about to get attacked, and he just plops down the Ghost Academy. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I agree. This is the
Is it
most
like
exposed location for a Ghost Academy. It's awful.
It was like right when he was attacked too. It's like he's just like showing like, look, I have ghosts, be scared.
Yeah. Questionable move here by XY. We'll see if he gets punished for it. Meanwhile, at the same time, War Prism gets into the main base. Oh, nothing here. Zud's going to get a lot of damage done. And if XY overreacts, the Stalkers are going to come in and punish a third.
Yeah, so he has to keep that army there. Oh, actually they're getting the turret, so the warp is a little bit more safe.
At the same time, Stalkers dip on in just to make sure, hey, did you move all your army into your main? No, you didn't. Of course you didn't, but he's going to be able to maybe take down that gas geyser.
Yeah, this is actually not a lot of bio as it's trickled in, and actually the Stalkers may take it.
Yeah, very nice micro there by Firefly with his Blink Stalkers. Unfortunately, the bio army is fighting without the power of a tank because the tanks were reset earlier. There just aren't a lot of tanks. They're really struggling to get in position. Firefly kind of having his way with XY right now, pulling him apart.
Yeah, attacking from two places at once, and once again trying to snipe down this turret so it's not a danger to the War Priest. But by doing so, he's not doing damage on the workers.
Yeah, but 2 more turrets go down. Finally, a couple of SCVs are going to go down as well. A massive warping into the main base. Oh my god, XY did not respect the Prism.
Yeah, he's still scared about the main attack, but now he's losing a lot of workers in the main base, and these Stalkers are still here.
Oh
no! Ooh, that was a nice bait.
Not like this. XY, he just wasn't looking at the time. He was looking in his main base instead. Meanwhile, Firefly blinks on forward, takes down the tank at the third base.
Yeah, I like this move from Firefly when he attacked with the Stalkers first and then just moved away just enough so the Marines would be right into the Disruptor Nova.
Yeah, oh my god, even a medevac goes down as well. Firefly has been so efficient with his army. But what about the workers? Once again, Firefly, he's working on a 4th base. He's got a decent probe count, but it's not amazing. XY actually has the worker lead right now. He was even able to sneak out a 4th base as all that aggression was happening.
Yeah, like Firefly really focused on this 3rd base, but he did not check on that 4th, and XY was able to establish in the meantime and saturate it as well, so it's actually not in that bad of a position.
Yeah, this fourth base is huge, mate. Meanwhile, XY out of position. The army of Firefly is going to come on forward. One Nova will go up there on the tanks. He has one more Nova left. Up!
Yeah, it finishes the other tank, so now it's just the bio with the help of the Raven.
Oh, exactly, but some solid force fields completely walling off XY from chasing that army. Firefly is able to, again, deal some economic damage back on up. But he did end up losing one of his disruptors, which is going to be impactful. He only has a single rover producing disruptors at a time. He has to be careful.
By the way, that Worm Priest went down. Two of them went down, actually.
War Prism tried to go into the main base, but the missile turrets were there in position. XY fortifying himself. And again, despite like all this aggression from Firefly, XY is slowly maxing out. Like he's been slowly able to stabilize and rebuild and recover.
Yeah, despite being constantly attacked on this base, and once again, more disruptor shots are coming in, like, XY is being very patient. Like, he got that fourth base on the back, and now he's actually moving into the Stalkers.
Yeah, exactly. There's only a single disruptor remaining here with a shot available. The other one is on cooldown, but the Marines, they dive on top of them.
Oh, I don't think they can get them. Oh, but they do get one.
They get two, mate.
And they get both.
Yeah, they get both in the end. We have a third one coming in for Firefly, but Firefly is really being punished for not making Colossus. There's no consistent splash damage here. He's relying so much on these disruptors. But the ghosts!
The ghosts are getting sniped by the Stalkers. They moved out a bit too far from the army.
Two ghosts go down for free there. Firefly fighting back. Now has a second robo, so we have double disruptor production. But again, like, there's a reason why typically we don't just see pure disruptor. We see something more. We see Colossus and disruptor. Both of them, they do kind of complement each other. But Firefly, he catches this drop.
Yeah, he catches the army in the middle of the map. He did even more damage to the worker line, and now he's actually ahead in the probes.
Exactly, one of the first times here in the mid game, Firefly takes a lead in the probe count. We have a fifth base on the way, still not saturated, but you know it is now up and running. Firefly has to be careful though, playing with fire right now. No disruptors.
The Team Blink is on the way.
Oh, it is. Meanwhile, oh my god, Firefly is so good with these force fields. Time and time again, bam, just sets up a wall.
Yeah, that's very nice. Like, the units are just trickling slowly through that little hole, so they can be dealt with. But yeah, I want to say that Firefly is planning on sniping bases with DTs.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like.
DTs are going to be on the way shortly. XY now trying to be active out on the map. I'm really concerned though, because XY is playing a little bit too much like Beyond. We got Marines, we got Marauders, we got Ghosts. Basically pure bio. Something that would really shut down the entire army composition of Firefly, Liberators. Lib range would be amazing right now, and he's just focusing entirely on a bio army instead. Up!
And Firefly is gonna get this base. Now the bio army is here to clean it up, but the base is already gone, and suddenly XY's position is not looking great.
Fourth base goes down, 12 SCVs as well. We do see that XY wants to go for a counterattack, at the same time expanding towards the northern side of the map, but Firefly is here to stop him.
Yeah, he predicted that would be happening. And now this army of XY, ooh, if it gets the CC, very nice. Now the armies are just completely missing each other.
Oh no, the ghosts are so exposed. XY looks like he was going for a base trade instead. The entire army here is going to fall. XY is focusing entirely across the map. But mate, we have disruptors waiting. Oh god!
Almost walked into this one.
Yeah, we have a second disruptor, and the problem is that we have DTs. We just warp in DTs defensively, and XY only has 2 orbitals. He's not going to have that many scans.
Yeah, I feel like Firefly's army at XY's side of the map is actually very big, so I feel like it may be able to get this base trade done before XY can.
Yeah, what's important right now is that the Dark Shrine is going to be going down here at the natural base. It looks like the Bio Army gets into the main depowers all the production. We are in full base trade mode.
Yeah, no more army is gonna be made unless Firefly hides some tech in the other bases that he has. Because if we look at the map, he's spread out fairly far.
Yeah, I think XY may take this. We'll see. Because a really crucial thing happened. Firefly was trying to warp in some DTs, but the pylon was destroyed, and it stopped the warp in. And now, if you look at the units tab, we have 0 DTs. Dark Shrine got dealt with. Like, XY doesn't really have that to worry about. There are still a lot of disruptors though. Firefly can still win a head-on engagement.
Yeah, I do think so. See, this is the one problem: the flying buildings. There is no air units, so nothing can take down those. Okay, Firefly. Hold on, Firefly. He's making a nexus.
He's making a nexus here, but it does get scattered by XY. He does find it with his floating building. Meanwhile, every single SCV in the main base is going down. XY going to be trying to take down these other bases. We do see Firefly's trying to get some production going, but he's supply block. Like, he's never going to be able to build anything.
Yeah, Firefly has cannons. The cannons may actually work well for him because they do not take supply, so he can get a forge somewhere. He can build more of them.
Yeah, potentially. Meanwhile, this base goes down. Now XY is going towards the top right. We see a recall back home. The disruptors are here.
Yeah, the disruptors are here, and the bio army will fall to them quickly if they don't dodge.
Yeah, first Nova goes off. We have 2 more in the chamber. XY has to be so careful. He's out of energy on his Medivacs as well. Oh god!
Firefly is gonna sandwich. The rest of the army of Firefly is joining from the back.
Yeah, and it's just too much. The Novas go off. GG gets called. And Firefly ties up the series 1-1.
Very nicely done. Especially I feel like the end of the game was like very decisive. So it was well done by Firefly.
Oh yeah, really well done there. I do think that the base trade was probably his best option. I mean, he was pulling XY apart there and avoiding that main engagement. Unfortunately, XY, his attention, like, he couldn't keep up with everything. A lot of units and a lot of ghosts were dying across the map. Like, he was really struggling to like focus on 2 fights at the same time. And yeah, he did kind of fall apart a little bit there. Focusing a lot on the attack, but not so much on the defense and his units back at home.
Yeah. It happened like twice that game where like his ghosts were not part of the main army, like they were kind of walking on their own, and because of that a lot of them got sniped early. So yeah. I mean, he did get a few nice AMPs, so they did fulfill their purpose to that end. But yeah, they would probably help with the main fight.
Yeah, they definitely would have. Oh god, that was a close game though. That was relatively close. We'll see how things end up here, because now we're going all the way to the ace match. I can't believe we got a base trade in the middle of this series as well. We're getting a little bit of everything.
Watch them both proxy now. Because we need all the varieties, so this will be time to proxy, right?
True.
And in the meantime, as I'm looking at the scores on the mainstream, Coffee took Cyan down 2-0.
Oh, 2-0?
Yeah.
Wow.
Coffee is the first in the group.
Wow, congratulations to Coffee taking down the Time Slayer in Cyan. Very nicely done. We spoke about this yesterday, but we are massive fans of Coffee here on this channel. Unfortunately, we weren't able to cast him at all. Feels bad, man, but he's a great player. He's a great player.
Like, the cranky casters love Coffee because he has some spicy builds. They're just Coffee builds. Like nobody else does that.
Yep. Coffee is a great player. He's a very innovative player. Very innovative. A lot of Korean players even look at his builds and they take it for their own or refine it. I think famously TY used to do that as well. TY Special, they were very accepting of that kind of stuff. But
I mean, that's like a big thing about the Chinese scene, that because like oftentimes like they play in their own tournaments, like their own like server, like they often have their own meta as well, and then you mix it up with like other regions and like you get completely different ideas.
Oh yeah. It's great to see. Oh god. So again, congratulations to Coffee. Unfortunately, we weren't able to feature him on this channel, but I'm sure Maynard and Pig did him justice over on the mainstream. And that means that the mainstream are going to be hopping over to Group A? Question mark?
Yes, Maxed versus Jeshi.
Jeshi. Okay. So PvP on the mainstream.
Yes, indeed. They're about to begin. As I'm looking right now, they are showing the map vetoes. So they're about to begin that series.
Beautiful. So if you want to tune in to Maxed versus Jeshi, a PvP, head on over to the mainstream, give them plenty of love. Meanwhile, we still have a Terran and a Protoss duking it out here. As a reminder, this is an elimination match. The loser of this gets knocked out of the tournament.
Yes, it's very unfortunate, but because like it seems like these players are actually quite evenly matched. Like, you know, we get so like okay. I feel like Firefly is like more, how do I put it? Not aggressive player. It's a different kind of thing, but like he's more like, you know, in your face, like more like focused on the attack and like, you know, like ramping up your economy quickly and just going for it. Where like XY seems more like very like calm and like, okay, so this is how you attack, so this is how I'm gonna defend, and he's like patient with like waiting with what he's gonna do next.
Mhm.
Like they have like different personalities, so to speak.
They do have like a clashing of styles. I think these two
Mm.
players, and that's why, you know, it's always fun to watch them play, right? Because we see like a slower, methodical player up against a more intense, aggressive player. So yeah,
Yeah, like I don't want to exactly call it aggressive because that was like people will think more about like people who like proxy or like you know
yeah.
quickly rush something, but it's not exactly the same thing. But like he clearly is more focused on the offense than the defense.
Definitely, definitely. Oh boy. And we'll see how that all ends here, as it looks like our players have set up the lobby, or our lovely admins have set up the lobby. We are going to be preparing ourselves here for the final game of our series. Game number 3, the ace match between our two players. Oh boy. Bro, what do you want to see out of this series? Did I lose Kuro?
Oh, don't forget to hydrate, guys. I have talked too much for the past hour.
Oh god.
On hardware. I'm thinking. I don't know. I want to see some nice drops from XY. Some nice drops, because there are some nice positions on hardware where you can drop.
Yeah, there's some great positions, I think we've seen like more of the same from Firefly. Like we've seen what he likes to do. He's like mass gateway into disruptors. I would like to see XY make some goddamn liberators. Okay, that's what I want to see. If we end up in the mid game, in the mid to late game. Uh-oh, as we're gonna have to remake.
Oh boy.
Ah,
No, why? We should play it like that.
shaking my head. We apologize.
Imagine if they did just play.
Yes, we apologize, but for those wondering what just happened, Firefly loaded in as Terran instead of Protoss. So, a little bit.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily a mistake of the player, so to speak, because the thing about StarCraft lobbies is that when you change users from spectators to players, like by default, the game puts you as Terran.
Yeah.
So you have to always check that.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a quote unquote feature of StarCraft. They just default you to Terran whenever you do that. Yeah, shaking my head.
Yeah, it usually defaults to like red Terran too, I think. So if you ever wonder what's the default player in StarCraft, it's a red Terran. There you go.
There you go. As we're just making sure we get everyone in here, as we are just sending out all of the invites. Oh boy. And yeah, you already said it. Game 3 is going to be on Hardwire. The more standard of the 3 maps today.
Yeah, definitely. From these 3, definitely Hardwire can be called the more standard.
Yeah. Those wondering, we started off on Blackburn and then we went into Curious Minds. So 2 very small maps. Some of the smaller maps in the map pool. The only other one would be like Berlingrad. So now that we end up in a longer map, in a larger map, I kind of want to favor XY.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, definitely, it seems like Firefly, because he's more of an aggressive player, like, I feel like XY will have more time to prepare for whatever is going on. But we will get to that, as right now we are looking at the base of the blue Protoss player, who spawned in the bottom left corner of Hardwire, not LE but ESL. It is representing SSLT, Firefly.
And And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Hardwire ESL, we have the Chinese Terran player himself, now red, representing Invictus Gaming. It is XY.
By the way, don't you miss Firefly's old account where he was called Firefly, Fly?
It's Chinese account.
Yeah, his Chinese account. Does he still have it, or do they have like? Okay. Yeah, I was curious because I know that they were given accounts for the tournament for like pin names and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if they gave out Chinese accounts though.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's things get a little bit more complicated when it comes to the Chinese region and all of that stuff. But yes, he still has that account. We were lucky enough to cast him during the qualifiers with that and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. See, we wouldn't have known that if we didn't have Alex at one time to explain it to us.
True. Shout out to Alex.
Shout out to Alex, who used to cast StarCraft every now and then, and she actually knew some Chinese, so she could explain things to us.
Yeah, she could translate. She could help translate. There were a couple of seasons last year where she was casting DreamHack China with me, and we were able to talk about it and go through all of that. I'm talking about like Jigua and like watermelon, like that's what that meant and all that stuff.
Yeah. Zigua is a watermelon, in case you guys didn't know.
And I should say it's actually pronounced Sugua. That's it. Yeah. I remember calling him Jigua, and she's like, "That's not how you say it."
I remember there was something off about it, but I cannot remember how exactly she said it. I just remember Jeshi. Because I like that pronunciation.
Yeah.
It's like interesting.
Yeah. Well, I always used to. I mean, like all foreign casters, I'd call him Jeshi. But it was Jeshi.
Nah, not Jeshi. Where's the I coming from?
It's in there. Meanwhile, we are just getting into our openers, and things are pretty chill. We see this time Firefly wasn't being pesky with his starting probe and tasing away at the SCVs. XY, once again, actually, a little bit different here. In the ace match, he actually went for an SCV scout.
Yeah, he did. He did skip the Reaper though, so that doesn't change. But he did scout what Firefly is playing. Maybe just like us, he assumed that like, okay, so we did this build, so next time you're doing something cheeky, right? So he had to like check this game, but no, everything looks fairly normal.
Yeah. XY just playing it safer, going for a scout this game unlike the previous ones. Firefly going straight into a Twilight Council again, a standard Blink Stalker opener from the side of Firefly. Nothing too crazy, but for the first time this series, XY follows up with some Hellions.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I haven't seen Hellions from XY today, and we are seeing them now, so we really are getting like, a variety of builds.
Ooh, yeah, exactly.
And they almost get that Adept.
Oh. The Adept barely manages to escape here. What's important is that the Adept wasn't able to scout. Obviously, we know that there is a factory, but we don't know like how many more Hellions are coming out. We don't really know what the follow-up is. We see that it's for a drop. Firefly doesn't know.
He's hiding that Widow Mine behind the command center in Natural.
Oh yeah.
It's a great spot. There is no oracles though, so it's not gonna snipe any of those, but still may work out.
It's one of those things where XY doesn't know that. Like he doesn't know if there's a Twilight Council or a Stargate, so he's just preparing himself. He doesn't have a Cyclone, so he has to be very careful with his Widowmine positioning to make sure he can shut down any kind of Oracle, and now he's zooming out across the map. Meanwhile, Firefly with a full wall off to make sure Hellions don't get in.
Yeah. I mean, it would cause a little bit of trouble when moving out, but this probe may actually get down.
There we go, we just see it cancel.
The thing is, this game also, Firefly did not scout the drop, so now that it will come in, it will be a bit more of a surprise.
He's waddling in, oh god!
I don't feel like it, I feel like that's just not a good idea, the waddle in.
It's not the best, Widowmines are gonna connect here in the main base, not with too much though, only 2 probes go down. Meanwhile, 1 Widowmine in the natural, this time with a reaction.
Spotted. Yeah, this is what I mean. Like, I feel like that waddling Widowmine is not great, not because it's not getting much, but because it's alerting Firefly to the fact that they are Widowmines, and like by the time the drop comes, he's already prepared for it because he knows something is going on.
Yeah.
So maybe either skip that waddle in, or maybe just wait for when the Medivac comes in and then waddle it in, because like then it's like all the chaos at the same time.
Yeah, I agree. It was a little bit awkwardly timed where the waddle came in first, and because of that, like in Firefly's mind, now he knows, okay, a drop is coming. I have a couple more seconds to mentally prepare myself and react to that drop. So because of that, very little damage was done.
Let's save one Widow Mine, so that is nice, but yeah, probably not worth it.
It's chilling here. Again, looking to maybe slip on into the third base once it gets fully saturated. Right now, Firefly is getting ready for a drop, but again, at any moment, that mine can get in. Oh, we even have drilling claws.
Yeah, so it looks like XY is actually planning to stay with that Widow Mine tag, not getting tanks this time.
Meanwhile, Firefly did find that that Widow Mine in the end does clean it up.
Yeah, the Observer did help out. It's getting cannons as well, just in case, so being very safe there.
Meanwhile, very nice scout here. Firefly shows up with his Observer, does confirm that a drop is coming out across the map, so now he can prepare himself. Stalker's already in the main base. This drop, it's probably not going to do too much. Not that committed though, only a single Widow Mine.
Yeah, I feel like XY knows that the drop won't do much, so that's why he only sent one, but yeah. Not great on the dropping. And I have to like compliment Firefly on his vision. Like there's a lot of observers all over the map. Like, he's been really stepping it up on the vision this game.
Observers, detection, vision all over the place. Meanwhile, unfortunately, there was an observer here, so Widow Mine goes down not before taking out a Stalker, but again, just not really great trades here. Looking at the units lost tab, we've seen 5 Widow Mines go down for 3 probes.
Yeah, definitely not a great trade for XY.
No!
Just flies right in.
Oh god, XY, stop.
XY! I said I wanted to see drops, but I wanted them to succeed.
This is what you get, Kur. You wanted this, Kur. You wanted this.
No! This is the caster curse.
Oh my god. We still have a pretty strong bio army, but the force fields are throwing down a lot. Oh my god, the medevac even gets sniped in the retreat. XY kind of falling apart here.
Yeah, the orbital goes down to the Stalkers as well, completely denying the third base.
And now I'm getting game 1 flashbacks where XY is on 2-base economy and Firefly is getting a 4th.
Yeah, but I feel like the difference is that this time XY opted for the Widow Mines and he's still making more of them, and he only has 1 tank, I believe.
Yeah, he just
2.
doesn't.
Sorry, there are 2.
He doesn't have much of a background remaining for his army. And the thing is that Firefly doesn't have to push into the natural. He doesn't have to be aggressive. All he has to do is stay out here and just be annoying at the third base. He doesn't have to commit to a big fight.
Yeah. Which is what he's doing for the most part. He's sending like some single units here and there just to mess around with the bases of XY, but other than that, he's just staying here, chilling.
Yeah, he's taking up. We do see a second robo on the way. We see disruptors as well, or sorry, Robotics Bay. I imagine 4 disruptors. We've all seen that Firefly does love his disruptors. They're not out yet though, so we'll see if maybe this move out can do something.
Yes, indeed. It actually dodges the Stalkers, funnily enough. But now he's gonna be found out.
Exactly. Meanwhile, that was a lot of friendly fire there. 1 Widow Mine shot went off on 1 unit and really hurt this bio army. He is so weakened up because of that. He does have a lot of Widow Mines, so maybe he can kind of like force a really weird engagement and take a fight that way.
I mean, he does have a lot of Widow Mines, but there is Blink, so I feel like if Firefly pays attention, he may just trigger them with Stalkers and blink away.
Yeah, he could. We'll see as Firefly is looking to engage with this army again. Oh, has to be careful here. Yeah, 4 Widow Mines.
Oh, he's just walking in. He's losing some Stalkers to it, but there's still a lot of Gateway army here.
Yeah, there is, and here we go. XY turns around. He's going to be able to take a decent fight here with all of these Stalkers, but at the same time, War Prism gets into the main base. Not like this.
Yeah, the 1 tank was not enough to stop this Zealot army. Now some bio is coming back, but that means that move out is being stopped because XY was trying to reinforce that army, but now he has to go back to his base.
Yeah, as you said, these ghosts were in the middle of going out across the map, but they have to turn around. They have to come back home here. 3 SCVs go down, tanks go down as well, and across the map, Firefly was able to clean up that army.
Yeah, cleaning up even the Widow Mines as well. Most of them. There you go. That's what I was talking about.
Beautiful blink micro here by Firefly. Again though, something that's surprising, this happened earlier in the series. Despite Firefly doing so well earlier on, XY is catching up. Like, Firefly, he just wasn't able to really take full advantage of things. Like, he's gonna get out of control soon because of the disruptors, because of the double robo. But at the moment, you know, XY, he has a comparable army.
He is now making ghosts and quite a few of them, so that will definitely help with this mostly Stalker army, really. But yeah, we'll see when the fight happens. I feel like that's the most important part here.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, Firefly did have a spotter unit here on the left-hand side of the map. It was killed, so now Firefly is getting ready just in case a drop comes in on that left-hand side. So, really nice kind of way to juke and drive his opponent. Like, XY is kind of forcing Firefly to be the defending player and is able to slowly, again, get back into this. 4th CC on the way. Like, XY, he's kind of catching up. Kind of.
I mean, kind of. Because Firefly is making his 5th base.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh no!
Ooh, big shot on the ghost as well. Now there's only one in this army.
I was looking to see who reacts first. Is it going to be the Terran or the Protoss? And it was the Protoss. There was an opportunity there for that to go either way. Like, if XY had noticed, he probably could have been able to focus those disruptors a little bit faster. But in the end, the Novas went off. Warpism gets into the main base. Zealots all over the place.
Yeah, those over the place, and more reinforcements for this Protoss army are coming from the side as well, with the disruptors joining now.
Yeah, exactly. The main army is coming in as well. Firefly coming from every single angle, and XY is being pulled apart. He can't keep up, Kuro. Not like this.
Yeah, he's doing a small drop to the main base of Firefly, but I don't think he's gonna do much damage, as the whole Protoss army is now in your base.
No!
Oh,
Another Nova goes off. Meanwhile, they're dropping the main base. We got overcharged. That's all we need. GG gets called, and Firefly takes it 2-1.
yeah, very nicely done by Firefly.